Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Is it Friday?
Yeah.
It's Friday. Weekend's coming. I wish weekends meant something to me. But I've brought in the Iranian warrior, the world's best strength coach, Laurence Shahlaei. So, Loz is here for 3 weeks, helped me train. We've got a big deadlift session today. We can't really say why, but we do. World's strongest man.
Deadlifting is important for strongman in general.
It is. It is. Hard to have world's strongest man without deadlifting. So today's session, 1 by 1 at RP 8. Somewhere between 937 and 1,000 pounds. I'm going to chuck on a suit at some stage, and I have a babysitter to make sure I do not go higher than prescribed.
Rein them in a little bit.
We did talk last night. If 1,000 moves easy, we might just have a little 505 target. See how it goes. But enjoy comments weights. Members only comments. If you want to join the members, it's $5. We've got an exercise library back there. A lot of probably 100 hours of webinars and live seminars, all just tucked away. Not for your money, to stop it from killing our algorithm. So if you're someone who looks at my YouTube videos and goes, could you stop doing clickbait? Go to the members only and you will be very happy. And you'll be able to comment and ask me and, more importantly, Loz questions. So fire away, and we will go from there. Loz, what % chance do I win World's Strongest Man?
I'd like to say 100%, but let's just train hard.
Fine. You're going to do some deadlifting as well, yeah?
I am going to deadlift with you, and I got into my head that maybe I try and stay within 100 kilos of you, and then I just looked at what I've planned, and I was like, I'll just the most I've pulled in recent time is 300 kilos. So if I get around 300, I'll be pretty happy.
What would a normal deadlift session be for you when you're in your sort of like aesthetic arm wrestling?
In my strongman days or now?
No.
My deadlift day is random as hell now. So I train calves first, then hamstrings, then a few like hinging movements, and then I deadlift. So
that's horrible.
Yeah, a lot of pre-exhaustion and then deadlifting towards the end of the session. So today we're going to deadlift first. If you want to be strong at deadlifting, I would suggest putting it early on in your training.
I've been deadlifting from the floor in a little while.
No, yeah, focusing on a bit more rack pulling.
Yeah, just for reasons. What weight do you, like when you were competing and you could pull 435, what weight did you hit before you're like, this is going to be a good day or a bad day? You knew.
300 kilos was always the weight I knew if I was having a good day or bad day.
It takes a while. Eh?
Yeah, if 300 kilos was moving comfortably, I was like, today's good.
Sure.
Before that, I didn't even know. You could, you know, like now, everything feels hard to do.
Because sometimes it is funny. You have a day where you're strong, but you have no power.
Yeah.
So like 200 kilos moves kind of slow, but 300 kilos moves the same, and 330 moves the same.
I've done powerlifting comps where my warm-ups felt absolutely terrible. And then my first opener felt so easy. You're going 25?
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Ah, we've got hundreds.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I can't think of a show where we've had like a max calibrated deadlift where the opener hasn't felt easier than my last warm-up.
Do you never have the days where the opener feels hard and then your next attempt feels a lot easier?
No, because I feel like compared to most people, I'm so steady. I can just same
it
thing
happens
every day.
more on overhead, I find, than deadlifting. Because overhead's a little bit more technical.
Especially if it's reps. Rep 2 from rep 1?
Sure, yeah.
Always. Especially, say at the Arnold. I find you got that log on your chest, and it's a little bit disorienting, so you don't really want to put full leg power into it. So you kind of grind one out, and then as you get tired, you're like, I have no choice. I have to send it or it's not going to happen.
I've often been in a comp where that first rep's horrible.
Yep.
And then like, use your damn legs, and then it gets easier.
What were the events when you beat Thor to win to win Europe's Strongest Man?
We had deadlift for max, log for reps, stones, car, walk, and frame carry.
And you would have beat him on car walk. You would have beat him on frame carry. He would have beat you on stones and max deadlift. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
But he really messed up the car walk.
Yeah.
And I broke the record on the car walk that day.
Right.
And I actually had a real good run on stones. So he won the stones, but I came third. So it was just a good all-round day. I'll never go around saying I was better than Thor, but that day was my day.
You were, yeah. I like your shin protection.
Yeah, my girly shins.
It's very cute.
You see your shins?
Yeah.
That's a real man shins, isn't it?
What do we got, Leash? People saying hello?
Yeah, lots of hellos. We have a super chat from Tim with Big Loz and Deadlift to a big training session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next one here is strongest man on earth 25 with heaviest show of all time on paper.
Ooh. You catch that?
The strongest man on earth 25 with heaviest show of all time on paper.
Oh, it looks tough, definitely.
It's too much.
We kind of got the events through this week with everyone else. And both Mitch and myself were like, damn.
Yeah.
Brian is trying to kill these guys.
It gets worse the more you think about it as well. I looked at them at first glance. I'm like, okay. I'm always looking for, what's the rest event? Or like the event where you're going to sort of chill out a bit. And in that you will normally have, say, a throw. You'll normally have some sort of moving event or loading race, something that in terms of nervous system is not max. So I looked, I'm like, okay, we got keg toss and we have yoke. All right, there's a couple. But it's max weight keg toss. That's less comfortable. And then it sounds like it's going to be a bale type yoke.
That's
There's no breaks. No breaks
Scary.
at all.
We think like how, for people that have done powerlifting, if they're pushing to max effort, their body is drained at the end of a powerlifting comp.
Yep.
You guys have to do 8 events, all super heavy. That is going to be a battle of survival, not just strength. And I think you have to be tactical. I don't think you can try maximum on every single event.
No.
You know me, I like to focus on one comp at a time, or one big comp at a time. So the focus right now is Worlds.
Yeah.
We'll think about Shore afterwards. But just because of the question asked, our tactic will be win the competition, not break records at that show.
Yeah. I mean, max log. I saw Alex said, Lucas could have a crack at breaking the log world record. That's great and all.
He should go for it.
That's true. Yeah. You're just like, if you could just pop out an easy 210, that probably is smarter, isn't it?
Actually, with Brian's log, a lot of people struggle around 200.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are good log lifters that failed that log. So
it feels weird.
What feels weird about it? Because I've never used it.
Have you used the Austrian oak?
Yes.
Do you know how the bulbous ends make the rotation weird?
Yeah.
You couple the weird rotation with the fact that metal logs just generally feel a little bit more awkward. And that's it. Also, it's got a bit of a sandpapery outside to it.
Okay.
Or like coating. So it's nice for grip, but if you have it on your chest in the wrong position, you can't pop well. There's no way for you to improve that.
You've got to get the clean perfect to get it right.
Which is good because that is now my specialty.
You've been working on that. Mitch has log cleans every week now in training.
Yeah, it's a very novice thing, isn't it? It's quite sad. All right, we got 45, 90, 110, 130, 50, just shy of 200 kilos.
Liz is in the chat and she's here for the 1,000 pounds. Load her up.
Ha, I have your husband. Enjoy school pickups. Got it with the clickbait. Liz, you know better than that. Feels easy.
You've been enjoying doing these live training sessions?
It's interesting. I really like when it's like members in the comments.
Yeah.
And not everyone, because with everyone it's just. But the problem is with YouTube, generally speaking, you run into this as well. There are ways in which you can provide the most value to the strongman community, and then there are ways in which you can get the most views.
Sure.
And it's a business, and you kind of want to get the most views. So for me, this is a way where I can just do my training, answer questions, not go viral, and not kill my algorithm.
Yeah, no,
you know?
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like for our channel, when we do things just to try and help the sport, sometimes it can kill your algorithm.
Yeah.
And then your videos that you want to kind of reach a bigger audience with don't do as well. So just doing it for the members only, it makes sense.
And the challenge is, if you get too righteous about it, you miss the forest for the trees. Because Eddie's brought more people to the sport than anyone else, acting like a fool on YouTube and on Facebook. Not because he's promoting strongman. So it's almost like the more you promote strongman, the less it's going to go to different people.
What you're trying to do is get a few people to come into the sport. Mm-hmm. And watching two bald guys deadlift is not for everyone.
It's only for the cool people who are on the street, of course.
Especially watching an old guy that might deadlift 300 kilos if you're lucky.
Matching hairstyles, though.
Oh, yeah.
Julius Caesar. Have you done much on this Cerberus deadlift bar?
No.
I find it slightly whippier.
It does feel quite whippy. I was going to say, I do have. Oh, I've got to get my other bag. I'll be back.
What do you got?
I have my new Cerberus belt to try.
Oh. Ooh. What will it be? We got anyone else saying hello, Leash? Yep. Yeah, it's horrible. But if you're doing higher volumes, you're probably doing, well, I hope you're doing lower load. So it's a muscular fatigue rather than a neural fatigue. It will get better over time, but there's just no way around it. And Loz has kicked into bodybuilding style training as well. And I'm sure he would echo. The bodybuilding training in terms of muscular soreness is on a different level to strongman training. Sure. There's really no working around it, is there?
Well, it's weird. I'm conditioned to it now, so it's never as bad. But when you switch to it,
yeah,
and it's like you've seen some of the bodybuilders I train with. They're strong guys.
Yeah.
But when I was doing strongman and they would do a strength session with me, they would be screwed.
Right.
But if we did a session with them, from going from severely focus on strength to the hypertrophy type work they do, we'd be screwed. Sure. But your body adapts over time. But essentially, I find with the strongman stuff, it's your central nervous system that takes more of a beating.
Yeah.
With the bodybuilding, it's more the muscles. You get the DOMs,
of course,
sore. Like first time I battered my calves, I couldn't walk for a while.
Yeah.
Now I train calves 3 times a week.
Take someone in your position though, Loz. If anyone watching is 50 plus, not that you are, but no offense.
None taken, young man.
But it's the higher volume, more hypertrophy style training is much more friendly to a wider range of people.
I train 7 days a week because it allows me to.
Yeah.
Whereas if I was focused on strength training, I just couldn't do that. My body would break down pretty quickly.
All right, we got 45 and 60, 105-ish, 210, we're about 235 here. 235 kilo, just over 500 pounds. We're almost at my split jerk.
Almost. Very nice.
So David has a question for Loz.
Yo.
If you have an athlete who just peaked to 1 rep max, how would you do a transition phase to higher reps and volume?
Well, if you're training for 1 rep max, normally your ability to do reps is going to get better because the stronger you are, it's always going to carry over. I actually, a lot of my training would be focusing on going like up to a heavy warm up and then doing like a back offset lighter that would be towards the comp weights. But it all depends on the athlete and their strength levels. Say Mitch, for instance, where we go to Giants Live, where there's like 350 kilos. We don't need to go super heavy. But for other athletes where 350 could be their maximum effort, you're going to train slightly differently. You're going to look to maybe get 1 or 2 reps. Your programming would be different. So it all depends on the individual and where their strength level's at. It's not a one-way fits all for every single person. But I like to focus on getting stronger. If you get stronger, and then you can do a one hard back offset, that works better for going to failure. In the off season, you'd focus more on multiple sets. But the amount of times, and you've probably done it yourself, and they'll see videos of you lifting, you'll do 5 reps on something. People be, you got more in the tank.
Yes.
Of course he's got more in the tank. You don't want to be kind of going to that absolute fatigue level every single training session. So it's always about peaking towards a contest or a date that you're looking to be at your best by. If you're an Instagram lifter, it's a bit different. You can just lift as much as you can. If next week it affects your central nervous system, it doesn't matter. But as an athlete, you're always working towards a date. And for us right now, it's World's Strongest Man. That's where we want Mitch to be at his strongest. And if you've got a competition coming up, same principle. How many of your PBs have been done in the gym? Compared to contest? One.
I've done a log PB in the gym, 213. Okay, comp I've hit 210.
210, yeah.
But otherwise, deadlift. If I put on a suit today, it feels great, and I pull 1,000. That's a gym PB.
Okay.
Yeah. The most I pulled in the gym is 435.
Yeah.
For axle, when I hit 218 kilos, I did 217 in the gym, intentionally going 1 kilo less.
Yeah.
What else do we got? Okay, squat PBs in the gym, but that doesn't really count because we just don't
Very
do it.
rarely comes up.
What other major
Let's be
ones?
honest, we don't know what your squat PB is.
No idea. But I can only think of one legitimate exercise that I have PB'd in the gym, and my error would be that I push way too hard.
Okay.
It should be 0.
Sure.
It absolutely should be 0.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of getting at, is that if you're always PBing in the gym and underperforming in competition, you're doing things wrong. I think one thing I'm good at is getting athletes to be at their best when it counts. And Mitch is a slight exception to that rule. Because his B game is so good, he can sometimes push himself too hard in the gym. So my goal for World's Strongest Man is to bring him at his absolute best, which might mean putting a leash on him at times in the gym. And if he doesn't listen, we might actually get a physical leash. So this new belt I'm trying from Cerberus has got some guy's signature on it.
It's a very cool guy.
Mr. Hooper, the Mitchell Hooper Pro Series.
And I'm not a pro, so it is a bit of a fraud.
It's quite nice though. Feels good. It's like a stiffer version of their soft belt.
Yeah, and so the idea is that the stiffness, because you've tried the Evolution belt before, yeah?
Yes.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I've tried
But its stiffness comes from the neoprene. And when I used it for a little while, I found the neoprene started to lose its stiffness. So we thought, how could we create something where the stiffness is going to stay? You can wear that in 6 months. I've worn this for 8 months or so. Totally fine. Because the stiffness is coming from the straps.
How tight the
The
straps
straps are thick, and you never lose
The Velcro on them is very good as well.
Yeah.
You've got to be fairly strong to get the damn thing off.
And I have no Cerberus code, so plug away if people want to get it.
Code Warrior, get yourself this. Don't help Mitch out. He doesn't need it as much as me. But it is actually a very good belt. I've got to do a video for Cerberus on it. This is actually only the second time I've used it, so we will see how it feels. My poor deadlifting won't be down to the belt, though.
doing calculations here. So we've got 315 plus 200 plus 110. We're at 625 or 283. Still a couple jumps away from anything feeling hard.
What's on there?
283 kilo, 635 pounds.
Go on there, nice and easy. Feel good?
Yeah, it does feel good. The only the thing about the whippier bars though is you almost get hit twice.
Yes. Yeah.
Slack and then the actual weight. So I find for me on this bar, the no man's land is like 250 to 350
Okay.
before like I actually feel like the weight hits and then I'm pulling.
Sure.
Where here it sort of pops at the same time.
Can I try your big belt?
Yeah. Do you think we're similar enough that it'll work?
We'll see. Maybe with this one it'll be all right. Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
And it's so, honestly, the combo is so good.
Ooh, let's see how this feels.
It's not fair. Come on now, Loz. Smooth pull. Come on. Nice.
Ooh, there's a lot of support from that.
It is, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is asking for an outfit analysis. Looks like Loz has seen the light of the short shorts. What does his shirt say?
No, those are 6 inches.
Oh, are they?
I think so.
Some leg.
Do they have an inseam in them?
No.
No, yeah, those are 6 inches. No, he's wearing a small size. Yeah, so shirt here, good enough every day. We released this early on, like in my first World's Strongest Man. We're bringing it back with a handful of things. We got the t-shirt that's live now, I believe, on lhpk.shop. We're coming out with patches and with a hoodie, good enough every day, which is sort of well, it's not sort of, it is my training philosophy. I really don't put much weight into any individual day, so long as the effort is good enough, and that good enough effort is 100% consistent. That's all that matters to me. And for a pro athlete, to me, that means, you're getting your training into the best of your capability. But for everyone else, it could just mean that you're having a shit day and you went for a walk, or you managed to get to work when otherwise you wouldn't have, or you were able to be there for your family or something like that. So I want to bring that mantra back. And I see it as the same mission of lift heavy, be kind, because that whole mission is related to having the barrier of entry dropped to the gym and not tying a grandiose goal to everything. And you just go in and do your work, make progress, enjoy yourself. And I see this much as one and the same.
So we got about 3:30 on now.
Yeah.
I'm going to start watching you a bit more closely now. Oh, here it is.
Thanks, man. Do you imagine we're allowed 8s at Worlds?
Sorry?
Do you imagine we're going to be allowed figure 8s at Worlds?
I would guess so, yes.
Like, you think training them?
For now, until you know the exact rules.
Yeah.
Without giving the vents away.
I don't think they'll be upset for us to say there is a deadlift.
There's two. I've already given away athletes that have entered by accident. I'm going to get in trouble, but I'm not being paid by World, so it doesn't matter.
Distraction question. Loz, what was your trap bar deadlift PB?
Oh, God.
No idea. Never tried a trap bar PB. I've lifted 230 kilos in each handled farmer's walk before. So I guess that would be something, but I've never tried to, it wasn't an event that ever came up. So I never really focused on trap bar. My focus, and I'd say this to everyone, focus on squatting and deadlifting, and that will carry over to any event. And then if it comes into a comp, then you can train specifically for it. But I never felt the need to do a trap bar for max.
What do you think the winning weight will be? Trap bar for max?
Well over 500 kilos.
6?
I don't know about 6, but it depends how high it is. We've got to see the bar. How, like, it might just be some crazy long bar with like tires that are going out.
Could you imagine? Like, will everyone's shoulder labrum hold together?
This is the question. It's going to be dangerous when you get to those kind of weights.
I think so.
Just supporting that weight is super difficult.
So. By the way, don't take my whinging for like, I'm not going to do it, or I'm not going to give it my all, or I don't expect to win. It's just like...
It's just concerning, like, Brian's doing an amazing job. He's trying to put on the hardest competition there is. The problem is when you're a pro athlete and you've got lots of comps to do, it's a concern.
Well, because technically that's going to be a month after Deadlift World Champs.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I will not be a happy camper for a month or so.
Right, let's make this look easy.
Easy.
Good.
Feels good, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I have a peek?
Sure. It's nice and tight. It's probably the first rep we've had to put any effort into, and it moves like
it's moving faster than it
speed rep.
feels. Yeah.
Often the way. How many times do you watch a lift back and it looks easier than it feels?
It depends how exposed I've been to it. So since I've been doing much deadlifting off the ground in the past month, all of the strength is still there. Yeah. It just feels a bit weird.
Yeah.
You know?
But I know people watching, they'll be kind of like, so many times, oh, it felt so heavy. And then you watch it back and it's actually, I mean, not always, you see some terrible lifts. But a lot of the time, people go, oh, it felt so heavy today. And you watch it, it's like, look pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Question here from Kobe Lively. Are we going to get Loz and Mitch on some camping lifting? Load it up 505 and get it done.
I think that's the only way 505 is going up for me.
Do you want to break, we could break me and Luke's tandem squat world record.
What did you do?
505 kilo squat.
Oh. You're going to have to take more of the slack.
You couldn't squat 250.
Man, right now, I don't know. I did my first squat session 2 weeks ago. Oof. I managed 190 for 10.
What would you like on here?
Not that. But
do you want to stick at 283?
Yeah, I'll do 283 for a set of reps. And then we will push the weights up. Have you got anything you can slide under? Just to any little plates.
This next question, what are you guys doing 3 weeks besides training?
We've got a fair few things on.
We're going to Vegas on Monday, which was sort of an impromptu, unplanned deal. Going down there for a event for Monster Energy. Of course, Rain is owned by Monster, so there's a big sales convention that they want me to speak at. So he's here for that. Then, like, okay, I'm prepping for World's Strongest Man, but I also have a life to live, which can't be put on hold. So, and you've got your clients you still have to program for. It's like, I would say 75% normal life, 25% focus on training and hanging out. But the thing is, we've been on, is it 23 or 24?
I think it's 23.
Yeah, however many podiums in a row. We've been together for nearly 3 full years, but we've had 0 productive in-person training sessions. We've done a couple of bodybuilding.
We've had a couple of sessions after comps where it's just lighter sessions. But
I don't know about your perspective of coming. But for me, it's just going to be really nice for us to have had all of these kind of memories separately and just one time be able to come together, regardless of how well Worlds goes, and just say, we spent some time together. We actually prepped for something together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's just different. And it's not different, as you guys think, it's not that I need him here to watch my technique and give cues. It's like there's a motivation element, there's a someone knows what's going on element, but there's also just like a company element or a training partner for a few weeks.
Just knowing you've got someone on your side is nice sometimes. And like you've stripped back your appearances and stuff like that to focus on Worlds. We've got this thing we've got to do in Vegas, but other than that, we're focused on training. We'll still train while we're out in Vegas.
Yep.
Like the days I'm getting on with work, you're getting on with work.
Yeah.
We go to the gym, we're training here. I've taken over Mitch's home gym with my arm wrestling stuff, which is probably driving him nuts.
There's so many strange toys kicking about my gym. While you get ready, I'll show some off. We got this thing. Is this in camera feed?
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
We got this thing, which is I've seen some of like that
You
type of work
around your hand, but okay.
Yeah, close enough. We've got this thing, which presumably here.
Wrong way, but we'll let him off.
We've got these two,
I didn't bring the really dodgy looking ones.
and then we've got this one as well. You brought like 7 arm wrestling apparatuses. It's like half a suitcase worth.
Chucked them in my bag. I was like, I need to do something.
Yeah.
I genuinely love training, so I train 7 days a week right now, 5 days bodybuilding. I go to an arm wrestling club on a Sunday, and I do 1 day dedicated to arm wrestling stuff in the gym.
Is arm wrestling hard enough to dedicate to say that's a training day?
Like the top arm wrestlers have just arm wrestling stuff 5 days a week.
Right.
It's geeky, but if you want to be the best at anything.
I have zero interest in arm wrestling at all, but I've said this before.
Shock.
But since you love it so much, I can listen to you talk about it a bit. Just like the passion, someone excited about something. I could listen to someone excited talk about almost anything.
Yeah, I think when people are passionate about things, it is quite nice.
Because there is a distinct lack of that in the world by and large. Like, if people are like, I'll film this for you, mate. Like, what is your greatest joy, your greatest passion, the thing that gets you going the most? A lot of people wouldn't have a good answer.
No. Okay.
All right, let's go. How many are we going for?
We'll go for a few. How many do you want me to go for? Leave a comment.
My comment is, let's hit 6 and keep going until there's 2 in the tank. 6 is your minimum. Nice. Here we go. Come on. 3, good. Come on. Let's go. 4, good. 2 more. Come on. Good. Give me 1 more. Come on. Go. Go. Yeah.
That's probably the most I've done in a long time. The only problem with this is your head wants to explode.
Horrible.
Woo.
It looks like it wants to explode too. Like, I totally understand when everyone watching will know strongman and you're sort of familiar with it. But when someone's family watches it, it's like, oh, is that okay? I'm like, I get it. I totally get the question.
I see things happening all the time when I'm commentating, and I'm as cool as a cucumber when people are fainting and stuff. Everyone else is panicking, but you're just so used to it. They'll be fine.
Have I made you panic when if any of my dodgy things that I've done?
A couple of log reps have made me panic. I think it was the Rogue.
Yeah, the split clean.
Yeah, that one was a moment.
That was a self-taught. It's a self-taught maneuver.
You didn't get that from me.
Yeah. I've got a free PDF coming out on the split clean next week. What do we got, Leash?
We need another.
If Mitch transitioned to arm wrestling, do you think with practice we all made the same way?
No.
I think Mitch can be good at whatever he puts his mind to. But unless you're passionate about it, it means nothing. Like, I've seen some super talented strongmen, but they mentally don't have what it takes. And if you're not into it or you're not committed to it, you're never going to be the best. But Mitch is a freak of nature. And arm wrestling has so many different types of ways you can win that with his natural strengths, he'd find a way that suited him, even if right now he doesn't know what that is.
But there's no way I would dominate arm
You
wrestling
need more
like
weight.
strongman.
That's just what you did last time.
We do. We could either swap the 55s out for hundreds, or we could put 70 pounds on. If we put 70, that might be a good last lift before chucking the suit on.
Yeah.
So at 735, if we had
15.
70, if we had 70, it's 365. Then I'll put the suit on, do one at 400, go from there.
Cool.
So UK Arnold 26 has been announced, and we expect both of you there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I just have a hard time not doing shows. Especially, like, who is promoting the show is starting to matter a lot to me. So the Arnold's crew have always treated me really well. And not me as an individual, but more like colloquially me, like athletes. I like how they treat athletes. So if I can be in shape to go help them with their show and push the sport forward in a small way in the UK, yes, absolutely. I can't say that for all shows, but anyway.
Do you want this over that way a little bit more?
What's up?
You want this over that way a little bit more?
Yeah.
So, Big Loz strength. If Mitch wins World Strongest Man of the Year, we'll donate 50 gift memberships in the first post-competition chats.
Let's just get it over with now. I'll do it, mate. But make sure you can afford it. And if you can't afford it, and I'm doing really well, I love the gifting the memberships. Keep it rolling. But also, we often do different auctions for like competition shirts and stuff like that. And when we do, we donate a chunk of that back to charity. In fact, when we do it, we donate it all back to charity. We're over $30,000 between our profits and auctioning off some shirts. $30,000 donated back to the strength community through Lift Every Be Kind. So if you save up a little bit, that's a really special place for it to go as well. The membership gifts are awesome. Of course, it helps us, it helps me. But consider as well, look out for those things. You get something to keep for the long run, and you also can help us support other people. All right.
So we've got about 360, 365?
365.
Come on then.
A lot of people tuning in.
How many we got?
1250 right now.
Oh, wow. We're so popular. Guys, go ahead, like the video. Let's get more people watching this deadlift than we're watching the live deadlift at the Arnold 2 months ago. Go ahead, like the video. This is my last lift before I put on a suit. Just over 800 pounds.
Come on then.
Something we should think about, Leash. If we got one of those, you ever see powerlifters? Probably not, but with like little numbers that they flip. So right in front, it says the number that I'm lifting.
Okay.
Just look into that. Yeah. Make a note.
Come on then. Take that slack out the bar. Powerful pull. Better out than in. Come on. Let's go.
All right. All right. Enough nonsense.
Nice. Very good. You see? Oh my God, that's good.
Get out of here. My farts smell like flowers.
You sound like Liz. Okay.
It's so much faster than it feels.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
So you're going to put the suit on next, yeah?
Gonna put the suit on, and I'm almost inclined to put the suit on and add 200 pounds.
Sure. Yeah.
Which, well, we'll do the math, but. Oh, no, we're not going to do that.
No, that would be...
It'd be 1,005.
Yeah. No, we'll...
Could do.
We'll take...
But we could.
We'll put them on.
I almost had them. Do you want to take 70 off?
We'll take the 70 off. Let's take a few off. You get yourself ready. I'll sort it.
Yeah, because 935, that would be 935, 424. That's the low end of what we want to hit, or what we want to hit today.
Are you don't care if they're in a funny order?
I don't care about everything.
Are you happy to go 130 pounds heavier? Or should we do slightly less?
Well, if we go 130 heavier, it's 425.
Okay.
So
you don't want to like 400 in the suit just to get used to being in the suit again?
well, I'll do 425 to get used to being in the suit, and then we'll do 1,000 to get used to being in the suit again. All right, Loz? That's how things are going to go.
It's interesting. Like different people have different ways of doing things. Some people like a lot more warm-ups. You're quite happy doing big jumps.
With something like this, my feeling is I just pull the 365. Fine. How much do I get out of a suit? Let's call it 40 kilos.
Sure.
That's at 405. That would be a non-jump to me. It'd be the same effort. So adding 30 kilos is like, to me, it's kind of a small jump.
Yeah. For someone that's new to a suit, I wouldn't recommend it. For someone like Mitch who's experienced, and you don't go super tight in a suit either. Some people go super tight, and it takes a bit of getting used to. You're happy with it being a little bit looser, just giving you a bit of pop off the floor. You take like Pavlo Cordiaca.
Yeah.
His suit is cranked so tight that he can't breathe and he's panicking. So he probably needs a bit more, just getting used to that feeling.
Horrible feeling, isn't it?
It's terrible.
I'm going to pop off camera because I got to take my shorts off, and I haven't checked if there's any holes chewed in this one. Oh.
That's for special members only.
Question from Liz: what's Loz doing at 4 p.m. on Sunday?
Our time, 4 p.m.
We can jump on a live with Liz on Sunday.
We'll probably head off to my mom's early because Sunday dinner, my family Sunday dinner.
But is she back Sunday?
I don't miss it. It doesn't matter. We'll go with my. She's not back, but my mom's gone for a procedure. Hi, Mom. But every Sunday, whoever's around in my family, we go Sunday dinner. So we'll go there early, do the live stream there, and then we'll be all fit and ready to go.
Sounds good.
For dinner.
Lizzie, that means you can come to Sunday lunch too.
And I can hop on if desired.
Yeah, so if you're not already a member or at least subscribing Big Loz Official, make sure you go and subscribe.
Yes, Big Loz Official. Definitely the purest strongman content channel.
Absolutely.
For sure.
The best pure strongman channel.
Yeah. The best, the biggest, the most subscribed. Everyone who's bigger is doing other things.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me get this a bit tight off here.
Really cool. So Jace, I pulled a new PR of 75 pounds at age 45 last weekend. I believe my health may finally be getting good again.
Oh,
nice.
So amazing. So good.
It's great hearing stories of people just improving their health, their lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, it's great coaching Mitch, but I've got athletes that now just feel so much better in themselves.
Yeah.
And when they first came to me, I'm sure you do it with longevity, and you see like helping someone just have a better quality of life is hugely beneficial and hugely rewarding.
It's way better than just like banging out weight, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Could you?
Yeah. Liz normally helps you with this, doesn't she?
She does.
She does. Anyway.
Well, the thing that I think is going to be truly helpful is having a few weeks of heavy press.
Again in a second. Just get it on. Hips into it. Let me just watch the mic. There we go. Oh, sorry, I'll grab it.
But if we're together for a few weeks, and then he's there to be able to help at show, then we're going to be able to come up with these ways that could you just tighten the shoulder straps? A few times. But we're going to come up with ways to work together and say, I can't really talk about events. Imagine there was a throwing event. Then we can come up with ways where he can call it for me in a way that I can adjust my technique in real time. But it's not something you would just want to give a crack for the first time on show day.
No.
Same thing. How tight is your suit going to be? When do we get the suit on? How can we minimize the effort to get into the suit? Oh, those types of things.
A lot of the benefit of me being here is just like we're chatting all the time, every day. And by the time Worlds comes, we'll just know, like I will know what you need without you needing to tell me.
You will know.
I will know.
That I still need nothing. I'm still okay. I was giving the example that, like, Liz is usually backstage. Loz is generally working. And Liz can get most things sorted totally fine. But say I ran out of tacky and I just needed emergency tacky. I was like, Liz, can you go grab me tacky? She would go get some. But like,
She might get the wrong tacky.
yeah, is it the right kind or is it just the first kind? And Liz, I know you have a general idea, but there's a difference between general idea and expert.
Liz is an athlete now. She'll take offense.
First pull in a suit since Giants Live Scotland. First pull in training in a suit since World Deadlift Champs.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Like 8 months since I've done this. Even I generate excuses before I do something.
So we got 445 kilo plates, yeah?
Yeah, this is 424. For sure, 424.
Okay.
Okay.
Come on then, Mitch. Let's get switched on. Deep breath. Nice.
Woo!
How does that feel being back in the suit?
Terrible. Strong. Like, it's easy.
You want it off?
Yeah. Thank you.
You can see more than anything, being in the suit is the most off-putting thing for you there.
Yeah.
Like you were struggling to breathe.
Yeah. As you do. Whew, can I watch that back? Yep. Definitely like a little bit off balance.
Slightly, a little bit kind of quick going down at lockout. You can tell the power's good.
That was great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was 424, yeah? What's the most you've done in the gym?
450. So we should do 455. What do you reckon? What's your call? Let's be fun, please.
Let's add the 35s.
1,000? Let's just do the math and make sure it's not like 5 pounds off or something stupid.
How heavy is that bar?
45 pounds. What do you mean?
It's a standard 45-pound bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No funny business going on. Yeah, it's 1,005. 456, yeah. If I can move 456 reasonably well right now, first session of suit, that would be incredible. It would be incredible for me. It would almost be more incredible for the foundation of my house staying in one piece. 2 feats of strength going on here.
One of our goals this year is to break the deadlift record.
And I took a great compliment when you said you think it's going to happen.
Yeah, you know what I'm like. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it if I
you're a
didn't
dick.
think it.
It's actually such a valuable thing. And I'm this way in life. Everyone who knows me, all of my friends, they know I am going to tell you exactly what I think. If it makes you feel good or bad, I'm sorry. It's just what I think.
Sure.
But then when you say something positive or encouraging, there's no element of like but do you mean it? Are you being nice? Or it's like, that's just that. And that's you with coaching.
Yeah.
Which would be hard because you would want someone to feel confident and excited. You don't want to shoot someone down.
No.
But sometimes it's just impractical.
Yeah. I've had conversations with a lot of clients before. And we all get excited when it comes to ourselves. But I'm never going to tell someone I think they can do something unless I believe in it.
Yeah.
And, I'll also rein people in when I think they need to as well.
Yeah.
But it's scary coaching Mitch because, firstly, there's a great responsibility in that you've got to protect him because if he gets hurt, everyone will go, it's the coach's fault. Which half the time with Mitch is not the coach's fault. But
there's not a half the time
no,
getting hurt.
okay. But also, when someone's as talented as Mitch, you kind of want to see what's possible. So we have to push like 455, 4.5 weeks out from Worlds is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But we've got to come in as strong as possible. And this shouldn't be max effort. Like this should be a hard rep, but with more in the tank.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have 100 pound plates on there, yeah?
Yes.
Someone wondering how it's 1,000 pounds.
There's 400 pounds.
It's 1,000 YouTube pounds. It's different.
It's 2,000 Instagram pounds.
This is 100, then 345s, 255s. This is 100 and 35s. So it's 1,005, which my best gym lift ever is 435.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was my best lift ever. You wouldn't believe it watching today, but there was once I pulled 435 kilos.
Yeah, shame.
We have a super chat here from Turtle Hubby. Just joined. Awesome seeing Loz. Sorry if I already asked this, but what ways can the tire flip at Strongest Man on Earth be safer? Do you have any concern of other shows trying to be like Strongest Man on Earth with its load, or is each show becoming its own unique thing?
I'll just the second half. You can talk about the first half because I just don't know.
You've never done tire flip?
No. Second half, will other shows follow Strongest Man on Earth? No. The promoters, we've got Giants Live and World's Strongest Man. They come up with events together. It's the same people. That's Darren and Colin. Darren and athlete safety, 100%. He's not going to push us like that. Then you've got the Arnold's crew, which is largely programmed by Jan Todd and Steve Slater. I think they saw where it went in 2016 at the Arnold, where there was so many injuries, and they see the value, and I've spoken to them, they see the value in careers lasting a little bit longer, so that fans have people that they can consistently follow. You got the Invitational, which with it having the CrossFit component and them involved, it would be really strange, I think, for them to make the decision to have CrossFit and then the heaviest strongman show they could think of. I think they bring it together. Also, one of the objectives of the Invitational is to get exposure to rogue equipment. And if you do a max lift, you get exposure for one apparatus. So they will always tend to do more medleys. So I'm not concerned about it personally.
Yeah, as for what was the first question, the tire flip?
Yeah.
I think Brian will be smart and use a heavy tire, which is actually sometimes safer than a lighter tire or a smaller tire, because a smaller tire is shallower, so athletes tend to use more arm strength, and that's kind of when you see biceps go. Brian's experienced in tire flipping, so I should imagine he'll get quite a big, deep tire where it's easier to put your chest against the tire and use more leg power and hip power. And Brian's experience, I can't imagine him just chucking in a stupid event. I've seen people do tire flips in the rain and stuff like that. That's when people slip, tear a bicep.
Yeah.
When it's heavier, you have to use good technique. Sure. And it will slow people down slightly, so it should be a little bit safer. But I'm not a huge fan of tire flipping just because I've seen so many biceps guys. Yeah. And it's always a slight concern with any event like that.
Yeah.
It's why we don't really see it that often anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, in shows that have been doing it, like Champions League did it a few times last year, there's one show, 4 guys tore their biceps, but it was a lighter tire where they were kind of rushing and, it's easy to make mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, every event in strongman, there's risk, so.
Okay, I'm good.
You good?
And then I have to go to the washroom.
Okay.
Tends to almost always work out that way on deadlifts. It's deadlift and prove day.
Most of us go before deadlifting or before squatting. Mitch, he waits till after. He likes to live on the edge.
I'm a big turtle fan. Could you help me?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're not that ready yet.
That's all right. It's all right.
Right.
It's up to you.
Stand up. When I say stand up,
I know what you mean.
just for people watching, I want Mitch to stand up tall rather than kind of be hunched over when I put the straps onto him. So he kind of, sometimes people will round their upper back and put the straps on too tight and it'll put you out of position. So all we're trying to do is just make sure.
It's like working against you at lockout if you start hunched over.
Yeah. We see people make that mistake. We can go tighter in a second if we need to.
Yeah. Just feel free. I just got to get used to the feeling.
Yes.
Just pull up strong. Yeah, fuck no. It's also an interesting point. You put on a suit different for reps versus a max.
Yes.
And I would put on a suit different for even an axle versus a deadlift bar, for example. Because the tighter you put the suit, the more pop you're going to get off the ground. But the more uncomfortable you're going to be and the more likely you are to be thrown out of position.
Axle slightly deeper start position.
Yeah. And so you also have the elements of you need to get down to the bar comfortably.
Yeah.
So say 18-inch deadlift.
It's not mad.
This thing will be as far up my taint as humanly possible because I don't have to get down far at all. Where if I wore it like this, I'm getting next to nothing at 18 inches.
Come on then. Switch it on now. Come on, Mitch.
Come on.
Right, let's go. Come on, deep breath. Get that air in. Get the air in. Get tight. Yes, come on, lock out. Down. Nice. Good work.
Easy. Easy. That was really good.
That bar has a lot of whip. It's kind of trying to pull you out of position.
Like, my position is bad, but my strength is awesome.
Your strength is very good. You're good. It's just like that lockout, that whip of the bar is just pulling it away from you a little bit.
Yeah.
But your lockout strength is extremely
That's
good.
strong.
Right
At 455 today,
yeah.
max, 475.
Yeah.
And that's my best ever. And that's day one in a suit.
We're in a good position.
Oh, thank you,
Well,
sir.
we did some stuff yesterday in the other gym, and put it this way, if we were competing tomorrow, you'd be very hard to beat.
Yeah, yeah. Which, again, like it goes back to your statement. Anyway, if we compete tomorrow, everyone else peaks, I have a chance.
Yes.
So then you go, well, do you want to get there 100% healthy with a chance, or push forward, peak hard, and be absolutely unbelievable and take a bit of an injury risk?
Yeah.
You kind of have to. Because also, personally, if it was just a cruise mentality, what's the fun? How could I?
We're in a stage now where Mitch is starting to be put into the argument of who is the greatest of all time. And it would be nice to just secure him at number one. There's work to do, but honestly, I've been in this sport a long time and he's looking very, very strong. I'm
It's a
glad
bit of a short rest.
I'm glad I didn't try and stay within 100 kilos of you. Do you know, I haven't worn a suit for like years, but I think I'd be like, max effort would be 350 even in a suit right now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
But I don't know how you are personality-wise. Once I hit my peak, say I deadlift 505. If my max is then, I'm a bit older, my max peak up is 480.
Sure.
It might as well be 200.
Yeah.
I'm weaker than I used to be. Who cares?
Yeah. Like I tell people I'm weak as, a kitten these days. I'm clearly not, but when you've been up there and then you're anything less than that, you're rubbish.
Well, we got some pause deadlifts coming up. Now, everyone watching, if you want to comment, it's members only comment, so check out the pinned comment. And this is a weekly tradition now of timing my poo.
I will try and hold the fort while you do.
Well, it's good because usually Alicia holds the fort.
Oh.
Fire away. Over under today, based on feeling, is. Yeah, today I'm going.
3 minutes is pretty good for a strong man taking a shit.
I'm going 340.
340.
Making it happen.
He's on the clock. So we've got to strip this down to 300 kilos for Mitch. And he's going to be doing the pause reps without the suit, really focusing on getting that lockout as strong as possible, maintaining position as he comes off the floor as well. So what I want Mitch to do will be pausing 1 to 2 inches off the floor.
I almost had a mic'd up poo. We are resetting the clock.
that could have been interesting. I'm trying to be serious and tell people some interesting stuff. And what Mitch is up to. So how many people we got on?
We were up 1,600.
Wow.
Great, Loz. We have someone who is wondering how to return to strongman training after 6 months off with injury. Also, how to approach building back strength safely and efficiently.
The important thing when coming back from injury is to not worry about what your pre-lifts were. As someone that's had a number of injuries, it can be quite mentally tough But you've just got to start from a very, very low level and focus on form and progressive overload through the weeks. I would say myself, who was like a 435 kilo deadlifter, coming back from injury, my first session would maybe be as low as 180 kilos. Very basic, 5 sets of 5, working on form, building up very slowly, because you have to accept that you can't jump in and be super heavy. You've got to build that work rate up. You think there's been muscle wastage, you've recovered from injury. If you try and go straight in and lift as much as you could beforehand, you could hurt yourself. And you will get strong quickly, but it's better to be slower in the build-up so that the injury heals properly, the muscles around them don't get strong too quickly. That can be a problem where if you are someone that can get strong fast, it's very easy to get hurt. So having a structure that you kind of stick to will keep you safer, but there's no magic kind of thing you need to do. Like, movement is key. And even if people are injured, I kind of recommend that they move all the time. I've had knee issues, elbow issues, shoulder issues, but I never stop training. I always train around an injury. You just need to be smart and understand the difference between a little bit of discomfort and something being totally wrong. These pound plates with kilos as well, really throwing me off.
Serious question from Benza Hungarian Ogre. Loz, have you ever imagined that you'll be putting away plates while your athlete is on his poop time?
I don't think about it like that. Strong men, we poop. It's what we do. The amount of guys I've trained who've come down to the gym, they'll go and take a shit before their training, during training. It is what it is.
Mitch commented, hey, where's Mitch and who's this guy?
At least we can't hear him.
All right, this one's from Alex. Wondering if you have any tips for warm-up exercises to prime the knees. I've been dealing with knee pain while flexing my knee during lifts and not sure how to warm it up properly.
Something I really like doing is kind of like either various different names. I'll grab a band actually. Banded knee extensions or banded knee snapbacks, whatever you call them. Take a band like this, attach it to a rack or something that's going to hold in place. And then all you do, leg through and just pulling the leg back or the knee back. 20 reps each leg, just getting movement through the knee, blood through the knee really helps with warming up, especially if you've got any issues going on in there. That's one of my favorite things to do before squats and deadlifts. Definitely helps me. Used it with a number of clients quite effectively.
This one is from Jace. Loz, when you have multiple athletes competing in the same competition, what is your philosophy on training them to compete against one another?
I don't think of it as training them to compete against each other. I think of it as training for them to be at their best. Then it's up to them to battle and beat each other come comp day.
437.
Oh, was it a good poo?
Yeah, I tuned into
Excellent.
But
yeah, everyone that I coach, it's about getting the best out of them. It's up to them to battle and beat each other on the day. My goal is just to make sure they're well prepared and ready to compete as hard as possible.
There's a funny thing when I compete with people, and I don't hold this against you, by the way. When I compete with people who you are fond of, let's say it's like a Bobby when you're coaching them, or a Rauno, or I know that you're kind of cheering against me. You're like, it would mean so much more if they won the show. So it's fine if you do, but I remember asking you last year, I don't know if you remember this, 2023.
Yeah.
I asked you, I said, would you rather that I win or Rauno makes the finals? You're like, I think you're going to win someday anyways. So I think I'd rather Rano makes the finals.
The same year you won, wasn't it?
That is, yeah.
I think for some people, like strongman is everything.
Yeah.
For you, it's not.
It's up, and you're part of my prep, and I actually quite enjoy giving people a little bit of insight because I can see how it could come across when I'm like, yeah, I do a lot of things, and this is one of them. I can see how it comes across as like mind games, like, oh, it's, I'm very busy, but it is really a fraction of my life.
Sure.
Like there's a lot based off the back of it.
One skill of Mitch's that I think a lot of people can take away, if you're an up and coming athlete, and Mitch is very good at this, and a lot of people are very bad at this, is regardless of what happens, move on.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you fail a lift, don't dwell on it. Move on, get on with the next session. I know too many people that something goes wrong and they'll be so upset with themselves they'll take a week off training. Or they'll think they'll start saying, oh, I'm crap, I'm useless, blah, 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 blah. Everyone loses, everyone has bad days. Mitch has bad days, I've had bad days. It's just normal, we're human. But your ability to just move on, win, lose or draw in any situation is very, very impressive. And I think it's something that I've actually learned from you. I was pretty good at it myself, but not to the level that you are. But life has to go on. And I think if you can kind of get that mentality, you can be so much better at strongman. Because intensity and consistency are probably two of the most important things when it comes to training. You're going to have bad days. Everyone does.
Well, I've been more exposed to people high up in business than high up in sport. And you never run across someone who's great in business who has a bad quarter or week or month who starts losing their shit.
Sure.
It's always like, okay,
there's always
let's figure it out.
Setbacks and
yeah, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
how much do you need on?
We're doing 300 kilo for a set of 5 pause. What do we have here? 315. That's 515. Another 100. So we're at 625. Why don't I do a single here and then we'll go up to 660. Just feel it out. But the adage of the old lay, the percent of problems that you worry about that come true or that are true, it's like 1 in 20 problems that you're concerned about come true. So I honestly don't worry about much ever. I don't think.
And I think people watching take it as like, oh, he doesn't care. He 100% cares.
Yeah, yeah.
Both of us care. Both of us want to go to Worlds and we want you to win.
In context, for
if
sure.
it didn't happen, next day we get up, life goes on. It's not life and death. And I think some people, they want that. Oh, it's everything. If you don't win this, it's over. You're a pipsqueak.
Yeah. Well, I remember after my first
We're
Worlds,
going to war.
After my first Worlds, I came back quite proud. I came 8th.
Yeah.
Like 8th in the world in something.
Pretty
That's
damn
pretty
good.
incredible. I'm so happy.
There's one year I came 7th, and some guy came up to me and goes, better luck next time.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what I'm going to say.
7th in the world's not bad.
I come home, first pro strongman show, 8th in the world, and this guy literally, he's like, so how did it go? I'm like, yeah, I came 8th. He's like, oh, did you have fun at least? I'm like,
8th in the world.
Honestly.
It is interesting. Like, I always find it interesting. People's views.
I really don't like back down sets, as a fun fact about me.
I don't care.
I know. Neither do I. I just don't like him. Do people in the UK, and actually I'm going to borrow your strap so that's okay.
Sure.
Do people in the UK talk much about American politics? Is that on their minds right now?
We see a lot of stuff, obviously, on the news, YouTube. I avoid politics, but not because I'm not interested in it.
But it does impact you.
Of course it does. And anything that impacts me, I do focus on, but I don't tend to worry as much as maybe some people do with changes that are made.
That's probably the only area of life that I'm like, it's very scary to me. I will get a bit worked up about it.
I think as Brits, we like to watch American politics from the side.
Yeah.
Rather than get too involved.
The thing that I don't worry about is that if something is in my control and it goes well or doesn't go well, that's fine. I can course correct and improve that and whatever. But when it's some sort of government thing, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Unless, maybe I should run for prime minister.
Maybe one day.
Put in the comments. Honestly, that would be Ash's absolute worst nightmare if I was a politician.
I can imagine.
Because God knows I would not be a politically correct politician. And
You
I'd be
definitely
getting
wouldn't.
absolutely roasted. Okay, calm down with your fucking head shaking down there.
You are a very strongly opinionated person.
Honestly, I think there's nothing worse in the world than someone devoid of opinion.
Sure.
I'm strongly opinionated, sure, but I'm also really happy to have a conversation with anyone. And I don't think if someone has a different opinion than me, that makes them a bad person in any way. You know, like say, I'm not going to share my opinions because I've learned better. But let's say welfare, for example. The people who think it should stop entirely and the people who think it should double. Well, both of those people have the end goal of saying, we want these people to thrive. And you have different ways in which you think you're going to get there. But the important thing is nobody's going like, I hope they all die.
Of course.
Nobody is saying that.
The thing is, you're always going to have a different opinion on how to do things. And that's in every form of life.
When I listened to a really good video by the owner of the first strength gym I was at about like how every coach has their system, but all the systems seem to get good results. And so when people are on their pedestal about how they have the best system because here are my results, you got the next guy down the road, here are my results, and the next guy, here are my, okay, well, what actually matters? And generally, it's what will they do? Are they working hard? And are they lifting heavy? Yeah, done. That's it. Can they recover? Sure. There's details, but by and large. Anything else you want to talk about?
Anyone that says that this system is the best system is talking shit.
Yes.
Right, do some deadlifts.
I want to go back to pooing.
Don't do them both together. Can we have a pause on the next one?
Yeah, we're doing 300 for 5 pause.
Yeah.
We'll go to 300 and do 5 pause. Cool. I just want to generally
get used to
just
being
have the
able to-
heavy ones.
All right, super chat here. Similar to one from earlier, I believe, but I'm just switching from strong styles of training to hypertrophy. Now to failure, I've never been this sore. Is this normal? And what's the adjustment period? Love your content.
Yes.
That is the exact same question.
Yeah.
Almost verbatim.
Yeah, it's a different person.
Yeah, right.
It's very common, and your body will adapt. But when you kind of switch from strength style training to hypertrophy, it is a shock to the system for sure. You can feel like you're absolutely battered for a week. If it was like that all the time, you'd never train, but it gets better.
As a rule of thumb, I would almost say if you're training for maximum strength and strongman and your muscles are tender, I'd be quite concerned.
Yeah.
If your joints are tender, welcome to the world of strongman. And vice versa, if you're training bodybuilding.
I got a question for you because obviously I coach a fair few people and I think they just enjoy hearing your opinion. Do you ever have a day when something just doesn't hurt?
No.
Yeah.
No.
The amount of people that are like, oh, I can't train today. My little finger's sore.
Yeah.
Welcome to strongman.
Yeah.
I don't remember, genuinely, I can't remember waking up with at least something not hurting.
Yeah. Like,
But it's just normal. That's not to say I'm going to be foolhardy and just be ridiculous and train if something is really, really bad.
and it's not agony.
No.
It's just, it's
There's like, I'll have a sore elbow or my shoulder will hurt a little bit. Normally, 9 times 10, once I start moving, I feel a lot better anyway.
Sure.
But you're going to have aches and pains doing these sports.
Yeah.
If you're doing any sport at a high level, you're going to have aches and pains. It's establishing the difference between this is something and I'm going to break something, or this is just normal aches and pains from lifting.
That's with my educational background, that is the number one advantage. I know what it is, and I know. So my knee thing's been going on for a little while, but I know it's a muscle spasm.
Yeah.
So it could be at a 10 out of 10 pain, I know it's not an injury. It will be fine. We will move on. Okay, so today, for example, we'll go through our pains today. I've got a low back pain, like an S1 type low back pain. That's probably about a 3.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of sciatica, about 1 out of 10 on my left side. And then the back of my knee is probably about a 3 out of 10 as well. Okay. There's a few things.
And have you found, like, while training, that's kind of gone down? Or has it got worse?
Generally, it gets better. My back has gotten better. My knee's a little bit more tender.
I feel better since we've been in here than I did this morning when I woke up.
Yeah. It's one of those catch-22s. Yeah. You must train hard in order to stave off long-term deterioration. And in the process, you will deteriorate.
Yeah.
And you will be
having strong muscles around a joint that's got issues is going to help protect it.
So we have a super chat kind of in regards to that. So, about training after injury, do you think it's possible to get stronger after an injury at age of 32 than I was in my 20 before injury?
Oh, God.
Absolutely.
As time goes on, people are lowering the age of I am old. I'm 29, and I'm thinking, like, in 20 years when I'm 49, I'm still not really old. Yeah. Like, I'm exposed to old people.
I don't feel old on a day-to-day basis. I feel better than I did when I was competing. And I actually feel younger than I did when I was competing. Sure. I would class myself old to be a professional athlete.
Yes.
But I don't feel old in myself. I don't feel like I'm too old to train. I don't feel like I'm too old to do things. I just, when you're competing against 25 to 30-year-olds, after 40, it gets pretty tough.
And you are now a professional athlete.
Well, I'm a pro.
Pro arm wrestler, Laurence Shahlaei.
The thing with arm wrestling is you can do it at a much older age. Because I genuinely get told all the time, arm wrestling's so dangerous. Did you guys see my strongman career? But if I didn't do anything, I'd go nuts. I'd have to do something.
And then a super chat from George. Greetings from Big Loz in Switzerland. Very nice listening.
Ooh, thank you. I'd love to know how to say thank you in Swiss. They speak French. Merci beaucoup.
How many languages do you speak?
I speak 3.
Okay.
Canadian, American, Australian.
And English.
English as well.
Yeah. 4. Do you speak like any French at all, being in Canada, or just very few phrases?
Un petit peu. I am quite good at French compared to the average English Canadian, but the average English Canadian knows 0. So I know, like, little bits. If I went to France or Quebec, I am on ChatGPT getting it to translate for me. And I'm like, do you know any English as a reference point or any French?
Est-ce que je peux aller aux toilettes?
Yeah.
And my last name is French. Something that I'm French.
Yeah, right.
My first name is French.
Laurence is French?
The spelling I have is the French spelling. L-A-U rather than L-A-W, which is the American spelling.
L-A-W?
L-A-W is the
I didn't know that was a thing.
Spelling. L-A-U is...
All right. I got 5 here. Feedback on this. I would love just after each rep, let me know if the pause was sufficient.
I want the pause 1 to 2 inches off the floor.
Could you lie down?
I'm just, I give you that 1 inch variable.
Yeah. I'll do my best.
Don't compare it to the comment that thought these were 3-inch shorts.
And I won't compare it to the comments of the number of inches you were talking about later on. Later last evening.
Come on then.
Okay. Pause. 2 inches off the floor.
Don't shoot yourself.
Or what Coach Loz says, 6 inches. All right. But could you tell me that was not good? Pause longer?
Yes.
I certainly won't pause for too long.
No.
I don't think.
1 second. That's it.
Yeah.
Good. Same again. Good. Nice. Lovely.
Huh?
Lovely.
Thank you.
The pause was absolutely perfect.
Did I have that little downward momentum?
Not so bad.
Good.
First one didn't go down at all.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Cool.
How did it feel?
Quite easy.
Good.
Yeah. Which, do the math, I think that was a bit over prescription. I think. Yeah. 306. Totally fine. That's impressive back down. I'm very happy with that. Being able to do something decent easily after 1,000.
Yeah. Well, that was good.
All right. Well, that is first half of the session. So I think that's us for the live today. Let me just double check. I also love, you've told me about this before. He does not know my program off the top of his head. Where like there will be athletes who are like, what was the weight? You're like, you've got 120 people. There's no way. No. Day 3, why did you program it the way you did? You're like, who are you? Yeah.
So I have a folder for all my clients. So when I'm kind of programming, that's why I kind of like people to keep their messages to me in the same place.
Yeah.
Because then I'll go through everything. I like to see video, like you will send me your videos. A beginner will send me their videos.
Yep.
Same with everyone, and I kind of go through things. But yeah, if you ask me top of my head while I'm out somewhere else,
No way.
No idea.
No way. All right. That's the live. Any other super chats? We'll say hello.
Actually, Toby's wondering, are there any technical cues you and Loz disagree on? Like something Loz is told to do and you've gone that felt like shit.
No, and look, I think at a certain level, the technical cues are more suggestions to try. Because you're not getting anything wrong enough where you're like, this has to work.
I'm not the kind of coach that would say, you have to do it this way. That doesn't, like, I'm not someone that thinks there's only one way that works for everyone. We lift differently. You and I, you deadlift different to Rano, for instance.
Sure.
Not that I don't coach Rano, but just using him as an example, he's a great deadlifter.
Yeah.
You guys are built differently, mechanically, your deadlift technique is slightly different, as are most athletes.
Yeah.
And what's really important is finding the best way for you as an individual. There's always going to be certain things that carry over.
Yeah.
But every lifter, your toe position could be slightly different. Your hand position can be slightly different. And what's important is that you kind of have that communication, that you figure things out together.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be like, you must do this way, because I don't believe that's the best way to achieve results.
Yeah.
And you're good at figuring things out for yourself. You'll ask me, the only time me and Mitch have ever I've said to him, you have to listen to me on this, is the stone walk. Because you didn't want to do a hook grip. That's the only time I've ever said, no, shut up, you're going to listen. And it was like, it worked. But that was only because I've got that experience of doing that. And I have a good grip, but I would still use a hook grip on a heavy, thinny stone type walk.
Yeah, yeah. But if you contrast it, say, Liz, she's gotten into training now, gotten stronger as a novice gym goer. It's not like you would give her the same freedom. You would say, you're focusing on this cue for a few weeks, yeah?
Liz is a good example, actually, where she's new to lifting. And because she's fairly popular, everyone's got an opinion.
Sure.
And
I
I don't mean any disrespect to other people, but I want her just to listen to me.
Yeah.
Because, and the reason being, it's very easy to be distracted by too much information.
Yeah.
And when you're a beginner, it takes time to learn a skill. Too many people on the internet are expecting people to lift perfectly. Yeah. Well, you're not going to be perfect at serving in tennis first time you try.
Yeah.
You know, athletes develop skill over time, but you still need to put effort in if you want to get better.
Of course.
If you see a rep that's not perfect, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what we're always going to try and do is improve over time.
Yeah.
And she's making great progress, as are lots of people that I coach. But it's very hard for a lot of people because they'll post a video up on Instagram or something. They're criticized all the time by people that are shit 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, you've got to understand it doesn't, like Mitch does things that aren't perfect. When you're pushing to a certain level, your technique will break down.
Something. Yeah.
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 It's, you know, there's a difference between doing it really badly. We've seen some awful lifts, but I've done awful lifts myself. You have as well.
Of course. Yeah, of
You
course.
know, you look at Thor, there's a video of Thor deadlifting 300 kilos terribly. But the guy's an awesome deadlifter now. And it's over time, you're developing your skills. So
One thing that I think, the more experienced you are, the more information I think you should consider, because you can weed through it really well.
Yeah.
Where novice, they don't know. Okay, let's say deadlifting. Hinging, learning to hinge, it's all you need to worry about. Should you activate your glutes and spread the floor? Yes. But if you start thinking about that, everything falls apart. And the thing that anyone who has a coach, this is really important, that thing that you do. The coach's ego of, I must tell you how to do everything, is so detrimental. So you're the one who encouraged me to find an Olympic coach. No, I didn't seek that on my own. Then, like Martine's log clean, when he was teaching me how he thinks about it, there are a lot of coaches who would start thinking like they're getting threatened because someone has taught them something.
Sure.
And that, like, if you have a coach who does that, major red flag.
I, as an athlete, would take things from lots of people.
Yeah.
To figure out what worked best for me.
Yes.
And I think it's important that you kind of, you're always like that.
Yeah.
Just if you kind of, you know, I'm not an Olympic lifting coach. I don't know anything about Olympic lifting. I used to push press. I could push press well.
Sure.
But Olympic lifting, I'm useless at.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, the behind the neck jerk has become a big lift now.
Yeah.
And it's not just you that I've suggested that gets an Olympic coach to help them because it's not my area of expertise.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really good at understanding strongman.
Yep,
You
of
know,
course.
my understanding of how to win a strongman show is very, very high, probably better than most coaches out there.
Yeah.
But there's always coaches that excel in certain areas. And,
Of course.
and the great thing now with YouTube and stuff like that, we can get so much information given to us. And then, you know, a lot of people teach people to lift a log with their elbows up like this.
Yep.
And it's a great cue for 50% of people out there. Right. Other people are better off kind of keeping their elbow lower, stacking their wrist on top, engaging triceps quicker than worrying about having them super high, because depending on how they're built, they may be more comfortable, more effective in a certain way. Yeah. So there's just never going to be one way fits all.
Of course. Of course.
Important that we find out the best way for you. Whenever someone new comes to me, if they come to the actual gym, I don't say anything. I just watch.
Sure.
And then I'll start to suggest things. But,
yeah.
Because sometimes people will pick things up and just do it naturally, really well.
Yeah.
The body's quite good at figuring out the easiest way to do something.
If you do it enough. Absolutely. Absolutely. Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you everyone for watching. We'll have a couple more in the coming weeks. Next Tuesday would be the first one, but we're in Vegas, so that's off. You will see us next Friday, which could be upwards of 500 kilo elevated deadlift.
You know what? I'm just thinking, this could have been one of the heaviest deadlifts ever in someone's home.
Maybe. Like in their actual house.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the basement of my house. World record home gym lift. Ooh, that'll get people very excited. Go ahead, guys. Like the video. Thank you very much for tuning in. You will see more of us, so stay tuned. And until next time, lift heavy and be kind. Take care, guys.